confused and couldn't believe it and couldn't understand it until Gabriel said, "For with God, nothing is impossible." And then at his birth, beloved, that is where we want to go. Look what happened in Luke chapter number 1. We read about the multitude of the heavenly hosts praising God. What kind of birth is this? A birth so unique that if the angels of heaven get involved, a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God, the angel Gabriel involved, and all these people praising God, and then the shepherd, you know all the story, and the shepherd went abroad and to see this birth, and they make it known. And people wondered, and so it is. Listen carefully, they wondered then, and they're still wondering now. Instead of believing, they're still wondering and questioning. They questioned it then, they're still questioning it now. And they're wondering now. Christ said to Thomas, "Do not be faithless, Thomas, but believe. Believe. Believe." You think it's easy now? It wasn't easy for Paul. When Paul preached about the resurrection of the dead, you know what it is? You think they were flocking him and said, "Thank you, Paul. You came and you preached the resurrection of the dead. He's alive." No, they mock him. They mock him. They laugh at Paul. And they say, "Well, the resurrection of the dead? You got to be kidding me. We're going to hear about this another time. Come back another time. We don't have time for this." When Stephen preached in Acts chapter 7, and he preached Christ, and when they heard about Jesus Christ, they stoned him to death. You think they were happy to say, "Yes, Stephen, we're so happy and excited that you came to tell us about the Messiah"? No. They took stone and they stoned him to death. These men, these apostles, these disciples, the witness for Christ, they faced severe persecution because they preached about his life, about his birth, about his death, about his resurrection, about him coming again. How many people you meet this last couple of weeks, you know, many tracks I get out, I know people say, oh, you're the pastor, I'm so happy. I said, "What are you happy about?" "I'm happy that there is a church that I can come and you guys speak English." I say, "Yeah, we speak." All the way I say, "Yeah." "Oh, wow, where's the wall? You see any wall?" "I don't see any wall behind me sitting there. I don't see any wall behind Philip." Wow. That is what people say. "Oh, wow. Hey, brother, you have to come." Yeah. Brother, "Oh, boy, yeah, you guys have a church." You go, yeah. You think it was easy back then? No, it was not. You think it's easy now? No. I want to show you a scripture here that when I read it, it blessed my heart. And when you read it, I hope it will bless your heart. Let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 4. We don't have the time to look at all the verses, but I want you to see this. This is after he, and Brother Robert mentioned about the 40 days, and after he fasted, then he was tempted by the devil. And then the Bible tells us, in verse number 14, "And Jesus returned in Luke chapter 4, and Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. And he taught in the synagogue, being glorified of all." And the Bible tells us this. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. This is his place, his country, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. He's reading from the book of Isaiah. And he wrote, and this is what he wrote: "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, Because he had anointed me to preach, praise God. He had anointed me to preach the gospel. To who? To the poor. He had sent me to heal what? The brokenhearted. And to preach deliverance to the captive. Oh, praise God. Hallelujah. Glory to God. And recovering of sight to the blind. And to set what? At liberty them that are bruised. Look at what the Bible tells us here. Look at what the Bible tells us here. The Bible tells us in verse 25. But I tell you of a truth. Many widows were in Israel. Don't ever forget this verse here. Look very carefully. But I tell you the truth. Verse 25, Luke 4. Many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout all the land. Look at verse 26. But unto none of them was Elias sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. Look at that. There were many widows. They were in this famine 3.5 years. Nothing to eat. Nothing to eat. Nothing whatsoever. But to this one widow, why? To this one widow, Elisha was sent. Remember the story? To that one widow, she said to the man of God, I don't have anything else. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to make this little cake, give a part to my son, and we will die. We will die. This one widow. There were many widows there. There were many people in that famine, in that great famine. 3.5 years of starvation. But only to this one home, this one widow, he was sent. God could have sent him to all the rest of the people. But God did not. God sent him to that one person. And that one widow received that blessing. Received the word from the man of God. And received that blessing. And she survived that famine with joy. With enough to eat. And all of that. Now, give another example here that I want you to see. And then he said, and many lepers were in Israel. 2 examples he gave. He said many lepers were in Israel in the time of Elusus, the prophet. And none of them was cleansed. Remember the story? None of them was cleansed. Saving Naaman the Syrian. Why would he say that? Think of yourself. Think of myself. As I get up this Sunday morning, I'm thinking, Lord, I want to thank you. That while the world seems to be passing you by, you stopped and you called my name. And you took me out of the miry clay, out of that bottomless pit, and you saved me by thy grace. This morning, as I was thinking about these 2 examples, I would say, Lord, look at that. You included me. When I did not deserve it, I did not deserve your grace and your mercy. You came my way. You came my way. There were many lepers, but one leper was cleansed by the name of Naaman. There were many widows, but one widow got that sustainment and that bread of life from God himself. You see that? You have many. Each one of us here have many families. Brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews back in Guyana and other parts of the world. But look at where you are. Look at where you are this Sunday morning. You're in the house of God and you're praising the name of Jesus Christ. Look at where you are. Pick up the phone when you get home and you call your sister, call your brother back home and say, hey girl, how are you doing? How was your morning? Oh, my morning? Oh, we went to the riverside and we offer something to the river God. Pick up your phone when you get home and call your brother, like I can do that. And I say, hey guys, how was your morning? Oh, we went golfing. We had a good game of golf. Yes. 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 Pick up your phone as you get home and call back home to your nieces and your nephew, your friends that you grew up to school with, or your brothers and sisters, and said, how was your Sunday morning? And listen to what they have to say. And just turn that phone off and sing. And sing. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul.